Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. Today's video is going to be an Aries dedicated video. So Aries, it's going to be what your divine masculine information, kind of like an informational type of reading, kind of see where you're sitting, where you need to go, maybe some information, a little bit of help from the Gods and Titans deck is kind of something I'm looking at here. So this month is going to be kind of each individual sign is going to have their very own divine masculine type reading. So that's really cool because I normally don't do these types of readings. However, I kind of decided for October, November, December, I was going to do something really different for the last quarter of the year. And I decided that each sign needs to have a reading because I think it's actually going to help better. I know I sometimes do like the signs within like the elements. However, I really just wanted to do like a dedicated video. So if that resonates with you, please stay tuned. All right. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. Of course, give the video a like if it resonates. Put in your energy, right? Because I'm giving you my energy. Leave a comment. Let me know what you liked about the video, whatever. When I do the Gods and Titans cards, let me know if it resonates with you. I am going to give a little bit of information about each card that I take for that. So bear with me because it is going to be a semi-lengthy reading, but not super long, if you get what I'm saying. Okay, so I do have a candle here to light my sage, which is something I used to do all the time. I haven't done it in a while and decided this is what will help me not waste so much lighter fluid, etc., etc., etc. All right, so with that being said, I need to cleanse the cards, the energy in the space, because I have not done that yet. All right, so let's cleanse the cards, the energy, and the space. So yeah, I gotta light the sage first, which might take a minute. I do apologize. So Aries, if this resonates, great. If it doesn't, obviously it may not resonate. So please only take what resonates and then leave the rest for another person to claim. Okay. We are trying to get this sage lit here. All right, come on here. Let's go. Let's go. All right. So Aries, we're going to take 3 cards from each of these decks here, and then we'll do a little bit of a tarot reading, okay? So I'm going to call these like power cards, all right? And these will kind of help guide you a little bit more. Okay, so we have here, cleanse the cards, the energy in the space. Cleanse the cards, the energy in the space. Okay, this sage is not working for me. Let's try the other side of the sage. Maybe that will work. Yeah. Sometimes sage just does not want to work for me, and that's okay. Also, please be advised that if you like, you can join me on Ko-Fi.com. It's ko-fi.com/spirits divine light. I also have readings on sale right now for 66% off the already 50% off. You can use code Halloween at checkout and it will take the amount off. You can also join to be a member. I am posting videos this month on there and they will relate to sometimes they'll be like podcast episodes for members, kind of stuff like that. Extended readings or bonus readings and that. I'm not too like strict with this one for this channel, not like other channels I have and other podcasts. This one's kind of just easygoing for me. However, if it's something you're interested, please consider that. And yeah. All right. Cleanse the cards, the energy space. Cleanse the cards, the energy in the space, please. Cleanse the cards, the energy and the space. Cleanse the cards, the energy and space, please. Cleanse the cards, the energy in the space. Cleanse the cards, the energy in the space, please. Cleanse the cards, the energy in the space. Cleanse the cards, the energy in the space. Cleanse the cards, the energy, and the space. Okay, Spirit Guide, Guardian Angels, Ancestors, I ask for you to join me today for this divine masculine. What do they need to know, Aries? All right, whether you are a feminine or a masculine, this could relate to you, or it could relate to somebody in your life. Okay, only take what resonates, leave the rest for another person to claim. Anywhere in your birth chart may resonate with this as well, just so you know. So what is the information that the divine masculine of the Aries needs to hear? What do they need to hear? Okay, perfect. What does the divine masculine of the Aries need to hear, please? What do they need to hear? Okay, all right. And then, ooh, that's interesting. Okay. What do they need to hear from the Gods and Titans cards specifically? What is it they need to hear? What do the Aries divine masculine need to hear from these cards specifically? What do they need to hear? What does the Aries need to hear from these cards specifically? What story might relate to them? What God or Titan may be willing to work with them? What kind of information could they learn? It's kind of like a free-for-all in this aspect. Just what do they need to hear? Okay. Interesting. Ooh, okay. I like this for you, Aries. All right, so I actually know of some Aries that this may actually resonate with, just so you know, just from those cards alone. Okay, so we're going to put these cards like this for a minute. Okay. Aries, what do we need to know for the Aries? What is the divine masculine of the Aries current energy? What is it they need to know? Ooh, Aries, some of you are very, very conflicted, okay? Some of you, I heard betrayal, misunderstanding, impossible solutions, okay? Some of you are not sure what to do right now in your divine masculine energy. Some of you may have leaned too far into your divine masculine energy. That is something they're actually showing me, is you leaning one way over the other when you should have been in your divine feminine. You were in your divine masculine, and unfortunately it may have caused some conflicts, because even in your divine masculine, you were not on the positive side of it. You were in the negative energy, okay? And we all know divine masculine negative energy can be completely brutal. So let's get into this. What is the energy of the Aries for the divine masculine? Okay. What is the conflict currently with the divine masculine and the Aries for themselves? What is their internal conflict? Okay. What is the divine masculine Aries negatives affecting the situation? Okay. What is the positives affecting the situation? I heard get a grip. Okay, with the positives. So some of you need to get a grip and look forward. Okay. What is the neutrals? Okay. And what is the, let's see, what is the neutrals? What is like the advice kind of situation here? Okay. And then what is kind of like the possible outcome with the advice? Okay. So, excuse me. All right. Do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do. Okay, so Aries, you have the Three of Cups in reverse, the Knight of Cups, the Nine of Cups, and the Three of Swords in reverse. So Aries, what you have here is you're feeling a little bit of lack community in the energy. This is the Nine of Cups, so this is also telling you that there's a lot of self-work that you need to do. And the Three of Swords in reverse isn't necessarily like, you're kind of understanding that the situation isn't necessarily like a broken heart situation, or you will. It's more of a needing to have that self-love and learn control in situations of yourself, not others around you, okay? So next you have what is your conflict, and you have the Knight of Cups in reverse, the Four of Wands, and the Four of Cups, okay? So what this is showing me, and I just heard 1044, So 1044, look that up, what that may mean to you, okay? And let's see what else we have here, Aries. Okay, so the Knight of Cups in reverse, the conflict is you're definitely feeling a little bit of lack love in this situation, okay? Or in yourself. You may not be loving on yourself, to be honest, for some of you. Definitely, if you've had some kind of conflict, you may be feeling a little bit of lack of love in connection or with yourself, okay? The Four of Wands is showing independence. So somebody, whether it's you or somebody else around you, may need to have a little bit of an independent energy, or it's something that you need to walk through this alone kind of situation. It doesn't mean that people will not be there for you, because you're not seeing something clearly. It just means that maybe they need a break from you so that they can also heal. Okay, so you're not seeing that there's a rainbow right here. There's support and light and love. You're looking away and you're too focused on the emotional distress to understand mentally the capabilities that you have or that other people are actually around you. Okay, so it's not that you're alone, even though technically you may have to walk through something alone, if you get what I'm saying, okay? So that was the conflict, okay? The negatives affecting the situation for you is the Four of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, and the Empress in reverse. So the Four of Swords, the negatives is you're kind of inner turmoiling yourself, okay? And the Page of Pentacles is also kind of, you're also beating yourself up verbally is what I'm getting, and a lot of mental conflict with yourself, okay? The Page of Pentacles is saying that you are a little bit unstable on where you stand with stuff, okay? The Empress in reverse is telling me you do feel a loss of some kind of very strong connection, an empress or somebody that may resemble that to you, or it could even be in business. You are at a loss of a growth of something that you were working on. Okay, so then we have the positives in the situation is the Ace of Cups. You have the Queen of Cups and Ace of Cups and Three of Cups in reverse, the Queen of Cups in reverse. Sorry, the Ace of Cups in reverse, the Queen of Cups in reverse, and the Two of Swords. So your positives are kind of interesting. There's a little bit of lack of passion in a situation, and I think that's kind of like a self thing. The Queen of Cups in reverse is you may not be quite feeling a connection, but that is not to be like cold-hearted to you. I feel like it's a disconnect for a very valid reason. And then the Two of Swords, there may be a little bit of lack of communication. However, I also see a little bit of self-destruction here. So you may be, the positive could be a little bit of lack of communication, but the self-destruction part obviously isn't necessarily a positive. However, it may be a break of ego is kind of what I'm seeing. A needing to break of ego and understanding that. Okay. The neutrals in this situation is the King of Pentacles in reverse, the Seven of Cups, and then the Star card. So Aries, this is telling me the neutrals of it all is you may feel unbalanced, okay? You have the Seven of Cups, so you are not able to release what is emotionally distressing you because it is bothering you. However, the Star card is telling me that you haven't completely lost in the situation. I do see healing energy required, okay? So what is a little bit of the advice? And the advice is judgment, okay? So there's a judgment call that you need to make on yourself, okay? The Queen of Pentacles in reverse is a little bit, once again, it's a lack of stability. The interesting part is you have the King and Queen of Pentacles in reverse, and they're not looking at each other. So you do have a couple. So in this situation, you may have had a very stable connection. However, the advice may be to just let this queen energy kind of do her thing so that she can feel stable while you do your thing. It doesn't mean there won't be communication. It's just, I feel like too much communication from what I'm seeing here could cause conflict or misunderstandings, okay? And that's not, I'm seeing that's not what they want, okay? The Eight of Cups is nobody's in reverse, is nobody's technically walking away from the situation, but I do see a judgment call to be made to understand that right now we're not in the place that we need to be. Nobody's walking away, but there is a need for healing energy with that cup energy, okay? The Knight of Pentacles, for that advice that could happen, from the advice, the solution, outcome, whatever, is the Knight of Pentacles. So I do see slow moving energy going back. And because of that King and Queen, I see that as a connection, maybe reconnecting. The High Priestess in reverse is telling me, though, that there is still a little bit of lack of higher self, okay, higher spirit, and both may need to work on getting kind of back to that High Priestess kind of energy, okay? Then you have the Three of Pentacles, so I do see building, okay? Normally people would be like, oh, the Knight of Pentacles down to the 3 isn't good. I see this as positive because, once again, the way the cards are sitting, I see this as a couple slowly making their way back, working on this part, you know, their mind, body, heart, soul, spirit, whatever, and then being able to slowly rebuild, or hopefully slowly rebuild, as long as you take some time, okay? So another thing I wanted to go over here was that angel number that I said, 1044, symbolizes spiritual growth, determination, and divine support, encouraging you to trust your abilities and stay focused on your goals. It combines the energy of one representing new beginnings and leadership, okay? So stability in work, divine guidance, and personal and spiritual growth, and new beginnings and leadership. Okay, so embracing the change, being open to new opportunities and positive transformations that will lead to growth. Stay focused on goals, keep your aspirations in sight, and work diligently toward them with the support of the universe. So that is also telling me you are not going to be relying on someone. You're going to be relying kind of on the support of the universe. I see some of you finding that connection that you're lacking and kind of like rejoicing in that kind of energy. Have faith, trust that you are on the right path, and have faith in the universe's plan for you. And then, like, obviously trusting your abilities and be confident in the path that you're on. Okay, so that's kind of what I have for you in that department for your divine masculine energy. But it's okay. It's not necessarily negative. I just heard so long for now, but it doesn't mean goodbye forever. Okay, so let's get into this. You have summer in reverse, okay? So something may have not necessarily happened in summer. It could have been spring or fall, okay? Next, you have the leader. So it is time for you to find leadership in yourself and move forward, which is funny how 1044 kind of says that. Then you have sorrow in reverse. So finding leadership will bring you out of sorrow, okay? That's kind of what I'm getting from that energy, okay? So next we have Mercury, mind, okay? So I see a lot of you needing to connect with mind and healing the mind and mental abilities, okay? Black Moon and Lilith in reverse, mystery. I also see some of you maybe out of balance in your Black Moon Lilith. That is in your birth chart. Please go look up where your location is with that because it may resonate. Some of you may have a Pisces placement in that Black Moon Lilith. Some of you may have it in a Mercury. Okay, that's some of you, not all of you, but if it is, there's definitely a reassurance of something in this reading resonating with you, okay? I believe in reverse. So this is telling me that you do not believe in yourself currently. So this is kind of a mind over matter, needing to really focus on believing in yourself, getting through what it is that is causing complications for you, okay? Next, you have Prometheus, okay? So I want to start with Prometheus, okay? Altruism, okay? What is Prometheus? Who is Prometheus? Prometheus. So he's a Titan known for stealing fire for humanity, okay? So he gave the gift of fire. He defied Zeus by stealing fire from the gods and giving it to humanity, okay? As punishment, Zeus ordered Prometheus to be chained to a mountain where an eagle would eat his immortal liver each day, only for it to regenerate by the next day. So for doing that, he is like, it's like a never ending kind of pain thing. Liberation, the hero Hercules eventually freed Prometheus from his torture. Okay, so I'm seeing here that some of you may relate to Prometheus, as in the current moment, you may feel like you're going to be putting out to pasture. However, I see that you do have the ability to get past that, okay? And that also says altruism, okay? So altruism, okay? Selfless concern and behavior that promotes the welfare of others, often at personal cost or risk, without expecting anything in return, okay? So it also is showing like a drop of ego. So you need to get a drop of ego death, to kind of move forward in the situation, okay? The next card you have is Achilles in reverse, and this is confidence. So you have Achilles in reverse. I see that more as you have a lack of confidence, okay? So Achilles, we kind of all know about the Achilles heel, right? So hero Achilles, Greek mythology, vulnerability in his heel, okay, the thickest tendon, da 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 da. Hero of the Trojan War, Achilles was renowned a warrior and the strongest soldier in the army. So some of you, I see a lack of strength, a lack of confidence, okay? Invulnerability, according to his legend, his mother made him invulnerable by dipping him in the river Styx, the Achilles heel. The one spot where his mother held him, the heel remained his only invulnerability, okay? So some of you, I see a fear of being vulnerable, okay? Right? Because some of you may believe that if you're vulnerable, that is your Achilles heel, okay? Somebody may use that against you. That's not necessarily the case, and that is more of a trauma response is what I'm seeing here, okay? I'm not a therapist, but I can definitely tell you that is 100% kind of like a trauma thought process, okay? Especially with mental health and that. I would know from personal experience, though, okay? Death. He was killed by an arrow shot by Paris, which struck his vulnerable heel, okay? So, pretty much believe in yourself is kind of what I'm getting, and then you will see more power to yourself, okay? Confidence. Let's go with confidence. I mean, I know what the word confidence means, but feeling or believing that one can rely on something or something, firm trust, okay? So maybe you do not have the inconfidence from other people right now because of some kind of situation, and you need to work on that to regain their confidence in you, but also to gain confidence in yourself to be the best version of yourself, okay? A cat, okay? So a cat, God, I think he is. Deity. Okay, he's a deity in Mayan mythology, revered as the patron of god of tattooing and sacred markings. Okay. So god of tattoos. So oversees tattoo artists, the process of tattooing and scarification, symbol identity of power. Pretty much guidance were seen as a way for individuals to gain characteristics and powers of the gods they depicted. Akat was considered a god of fertility and growth, responsible for overseeing fetuses in the womb as well, apparently. Some sources associate Akat with the creation of the world, identifying as one of the four B-cups who hold up the sky. Cultural significance, considered tattooing a deeply spiritual and culturally significant act, making Akat a vital figure for their spiritual practices, okay? And there's dedication. So with that being said, if he was one of those kind of like gods of creation in this belief, then that is dedication, right? That is dedication to create something beautiful and new, right? The quality of being dedicated or committed to task or purpose. So I see this as a needing to have dedication towards your kind of like commitments, your confidence to changing, to growing, to being a better version of yourself is kind of what I'm seeing from this, okay? If this resonates with you, great. If not, leave it, obviously. Thank you so much for watching, Aries. I do appreciate your time. I'm curious if any of this information may help you. And thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And have a wonderful, lovely evening. And I will see you again very, very soon on the next video. Thank you. Goodbye. Bye, 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 bye.